providing resources and comfort to caregivers. This is Caregiver Crossing.
Happy New Year, y'all.
Happy New Year to you and you and you. Oh, my goodness, I hope it's a good year.
Well, that's our prayer, isn't it?
It is.
It's our prayer. I hope so, too. Welcome to Caregiver Crossing. My name is Candace Terri, and I am joined by the lovely one and only
Terri Lynn Stacy. Hi, everybody.
How are you, Terri?
I'm good. I'm happy. It's a new year. It feels good at the moment. And I'm ready to go. A new year for Caregiver Crossing.
Yes.
Hello to all of you. We've got, we're now heard, all across Indiana and over into Illinois.
Yep, across state lines.
And we are so happy to have you here. This is such an important show. We do have some fun. But we try to also bring you some information too for all of you that are caregivers right now, and that's a lot of you.
Yeah, it's a lot of you. And statistics show that it's going to be a lot more of us here coming in the next few years. But like Terri said, we're here each week to talk all things caregiving, education, and hopefully a good laugh. So thank you for joining us. And I want to know how your holiday was.
Holidays were good. Better than I had anticipated. It was a little quiet. If you don't know, my dad passed away on Black Friday, day after Thanksgiving.
Oh wow, yes, sure.
So, and it's been a very challenging couple of years. And so, he went peacefully with all of us by his side and in his home, in his bed, in his own bed. And, but the last few weeks before Thanksgiving, it was really, really tough. And, but boy, the strength that comes through with my mom, who has, been married to him over 60 years. And it's just been that strength of her, really watching her be this amazing caregiver and wife and mother to us and to my sister and I. And so watching her be such an incredible caregiver, it's strength I've never seen before. So it is pretty awesome. She's, obviously we miss him terribly already, but, she's doing fine. We're doing fine. And, it was a blessing because he's not suffering anymore. You know, we've talked about some of these signs after a death or just before a death. And I've heard them from caregivers, and hospice nurses who are amazing, hospice personnel.
Yes, they are.
Oh my gosh. So fantastic. Thank you to IU Health and everything that you did for my dad. But anyway, some of those signs, I know a lot of you may have seen cardinals. You know, we've talked about the presence of a cardinal.
Oh yeah, the birds. The birds.
Okay. And that's a spirit of some sort coming back and watching over you and saying, I'm okay. There was a sighting of an albino deer. And of course we tie all of this. I think when you have someone that you love so very much that has passed away, you start to look at things and you start to think, oh, that's a sign, of a spirit of dad. But even before he passed, he was seeing people in the window and he was seeing his mom and he was seeing his dad and he was telling us, you know, that he was dreaming. He said, you know, I had a dream of, and maybe he did, but those were his sightings. Yeah. You know, he would say, who's at the window or, who's on the ceiling? And I believe, and I think some of you do too, that those are those that have passed before are in heaven and that they're coming to say, you know, we're getting ready for you. We're here for you. You know, as you make this transition, and I found it so comforting.
Oh, good.
I did. Have you heard those stories?
I have.
Right?
Yes, I definitely have. And I feel like Tina's dad may have started to see some of the same things too. Same things.
People.
Yeah, so maybe that is a thing.
Yeah. I like to think so. It's very comforting if you think that way. You don't. I mean, maybe you don't.
Yeah.
But I did.
Right.
I do.
And he was at peace. Like that. There was nothing.
He was at peace. Good. And you know, we stayed with him for a couple of hours after he passed, and you know, it was everything. Well, there's a plan on how everything goes.
Absolutely.
So I think we fulfilled that particular plan and
absolutely
that chapter of my father's life, and he's in heaven now, and he's listening to us right now. And I was thinking of all the people that have passed this year that he loved so much. George McGinnis, Big George McGinnis passed recently, and then Bobby Knight, Coach Knight. He loved Coach Knight, and he passed just before.
Yeah, not too long ago.
So I think about all those that are in the line in heaven.
Giving high fives.
Hey,
and
Bobby! Hey, Coach!
Did he go to IU?
No, my mom went to IU, but I just loved IU basketball. So anyway, he, Coach Knight was one of his favorite people ever.
Oh, wow.
Even in the bad times. Even when Bobby was not so
flipping
loved,
over chairs.
my dad would still be right there. It's Coach. So anyway, I kind of picture that line of everybody that had gone to heaven.
Yeah.
And they're all in line right there, and my dad going, hey, Bobby.
I love that. Well, thank you for sharing that, Terri.
Well, anyway, I know a lot of you had an empty table at your holidays during this time, and it's not easy, but we're still here, so we got to keep going, right?
Yeah.
New year,
new me. For anyone that is making New Year's resolutions, we're going to talk about that a little bit next segment. But as Terri mentioned at the top of the show, we've got some new listeners potentially in new listening audiences. So welcome. A little bit about Caregiver Crossing. It is a show sponsored by Joyce House in partnership with Cardon and Associates. And like I said, we're here each week to talk all things caregiving. Joyce House is an adult day service that's located in Indianapolis, Indiana. We have 2 locations, kind of centrally located, and then one also by the University of Indianapolis. And we serve individuals and families that are living with a life-altering diagnosis, whatever that might be for you, Alzheimer's, dementia, MS, cancer, whatever that might look like. We're here to serve families throughout the weeks. We are missing our third musketeer still.
Tina McIntosh.
The
founder of Joyce House.
Yes, founder of Joyce House and weekly co-host with us here on Caregiver Crossing. Back in early part of December, she had what she called a minor brain surgery. But I spoke with her last week, and she is doing fine. She's feeling better and starting to feel like herself again. So she will be back with us in February next month. So we're looking forward to have her back really soon. We got a couple more minutes here. Anything else you want to say at the top of the show?
Well, I just want to also pass along. I know Tina appreciated there. A lot of you praying for her and prayers for her as she went into this, and I know she appreciates it so very, very much. I know she does. She and her entire family. Yeah. Prayers work.
Absolutely.
So, one way or the other, somebody's listening. But this is such a great show. And even if you're a first time listener, I will tell you that, even if you're not, how you can really listen or it can just be kind of in the background, you will absorb so much that when your time comes to be a caregiver, because I think we all will be.
Oh, yeah.
And that definition of caregiver, you may think, well, that's just, if you're married and your husband or your spouse comes down with a diagnosis, a life-threatening diagnosis, you're a wife, but you're also a caregiver. Sometimes I think wives, spouses, men and women, everybody thinks, well, that's just part of being a spouse, or a partner. But it truly is, you are also a caregiver at that time. And so you fit into this caregiver world with us, and you'll absorb and you'll learn things that you're not even sure you learned. But when the time comes, I'm telling you, you will know and you will have answers, and you'll be a little bit better prepared. That's our hope.
That's our hope. And we're here, Joyce House. You can call us at any time, 317-254-0828, whether you're here local or not. We are more than happy to help connect you with any resources in the community. We've got to take a quick break. You're listening to Caregiver Crossing, a show designed for family caregivers and the people who love them. Caregiver Crossing is brought to you as a service of Joyce House in partnership with Cardon and Associates. With locations in Broad Ripple and near the University of Indianapolis campus, Joyce House provides exceptional day services for individuals living with a life-altering diagnosis and compassionate support for family caregivers throughout the community. At Joyce House, we believe that everyone deserves to live their best life regardless of their abilities. Learn more about our adult day and caregiver support services by calling us at 317-254-0828 or by visiting joycehouse.org today. That web address again is joycehouse.org. Stick around. We'll be right back with more Caregiver Crossing right after this. Welcome back to Caregiver Crossing. My name is Candace Terri, and I am joined in studio by Terri Stacy. Coming up, we're going to discuss the 10 family caregiver resolutions for 2024. But first,
I had a chance to talk to a friend of mine, Bo Rayleigh. He has a degree in kinesiology, and he's also the founder of Exercise Incorporated here in Central Indiana. And he brings me great information each and every week as a trainer and a coach. And we were talking about New Year's resolutions for all of us.
So let's do a quick rundown on resolutions and just kind of how it all works. So 39% of Americans make New Year's resolutions, okay? So the top ones this year, the top 5 this year, number 1, save more money. And that has not been the top one recently. Exercise more and weight loss. But because of the economy, more people want to save money. Number 2, exercise more. Number 3, eat healthier, which I like that.
Yeah.
Number 4, spend more time with family and friends, that's mine. Number 5, lose weight. I like that losing weight has dropped down and eating healthier has moved up the list.
Oh, the message is getting out there.
It is. And that if you focus on eating healthier, the weight will go. But did you know that only 88% of people fail at the resolutions they make? Most people give up on their New Year's resolution by January 19th. That's a true statistic. And they got that statistic from fitness apps. So people would make a resolution to, exercise more, and the fitness app owners can tell by January 19th most people have given up. But the most successful way to achieve a New Year's resolution or a goal is to make it something that's doable and make small changes that you will get very excited about when those small things happen. So here's an example. A lot of people are saying, I want to lose 30 pounds, which that's a great goal. But a better way to phrase that is, you know what? I would like to lose 1 pound a week for 30 weeks. Oh. Now that's something that you can work with. A pound a week is doable. It's a very realistic goal to lose 1 pound in a week. And if that's your goal, every time you lose that 1 pound, it's a success. You get excited, you get endorphins, you feel better, and you're achieving something. You're on your way. So the way, and research shows this, the way we phrase these goals is extremely important. Don't just make a resolution of, hey, I want to lose weight, or I want to lose 50 pounds, or I want to lose 30 pounds. Make it something that's doable in small chunks that will get you excited every time you get a win. And, what we found, and we have helped thousands of people lose lots of weight. We've helped our clients lose almost 40,000 pounds since 2013, which is a lot. And we do it by starting with small little changes. And if you just pick a few small things and say, okay, this year I'm going to focus on this small thing, and I'm going to try to do it every single day. And I know if I do this thing, it will make an impact on my health. And if I miss a day or two, it's okay. I'm going to pick it back up. Here's a good example. One of our things that we tell people they need to do is eat 4 vegetables every day. So that's a great one. You can make a resolution that says, I'm going to eat 4 vegetables every day. But here's how you spice it up. Make a better resolution that says, this year, every week, I'm going to cook a new vegetable recipe, okay? So every week I'm going to try a new recipe that involves vegetables. Okay. Now you've got something that you can get a little more excited about. Every week you're not just eating 4 vegetables a day, but you're making yourself cook vegetables in different ways every week.
Good.
That will help you learn to love vegetables. Fruit, we tell people to eat 2 servings of fruit every day. And most people stick with the same fruit. They'll buy apples, oranges, bananas. There are so many different kinds of fruits, and we live in a world where you can go to a grocery store and on any given day, there are 20 or 30 different kinds of fruits in the produce section. Yeah. Tell yourself, hey, this year, I'm going to try a new fruit every week for the entire year. That will get you eating more fruit and improve your health. So rethinking how we make our resolutions of how we want to change our lives. And I think everybody is looking at 2024 saying, you know what, I want a better life in 2024. What can I do? And the best way to do it is to think small and think of what small changes you could incorporate in your life to be better.
Yeah.
And one way to do it, we teach people that they need to adopt habits. Well, habits come from doing the same thing over and over again. And habits involve something called a cue, and then the routine, which is the habit, and which is the second part of the habit. There's always a reward. You always develop a habit because of a reward. So here's a good example. We tell everybody, all of our clients, that you should always drink 8 to 12 cups of water every day. And we say you should always start your day with 2 cups of water first thing in the morning when you wake up. If you do that, if you don't do that and you implement that into your health, it will change your life. Just start drinking 2 cups of water first thing in the morning when you wake up. Now, here's how you make it a habit. This is what I do. Every night when I go to bed, I make sure my 16-ounce cup is sitting on the counter by the fridge. when I wake up in the morning, I see the cup. I fill it up. I drink the water. And so then once I've drank my 16 ounces of water, you know what my reward is?
What?
My coffee. I have my coffee. So that's my reward. So that is how I've set myself up for success, for a habit that is life-changing. It truly is if you don't drink enough water and you start drinking 2 cups a day. And so, set some resolutions like that are small, easy to do, but will have an impact on changing your health over the next year.
That was our friend Bo Rayleigh, the founder of Exercise Incorporated. Again, locations all over. He's a friend more than anything. But if you'd like to know more about Exercise Inc., go to exerciseinc.com. But thank you, Bo. We appreciate that. Each and every year he tries to keep us on track. I will mention one more before we get to some of the caregiver resolutions. But this is such a good one because this is what I've been doing, and that is cleaning out the medicine cabinet.
Oh, good.
Because I found I've got stuff in there from 2018. I'm talking about cough medicines and, Secrets and, I had so many, nothing that I could actually use anymore.
Is it expired?
It's all expired.
Okay.
And so but there was just an opportunity. Bo mentioned it. He said, hey, here's something you can do. He said, you need to clean out your medicine cabinet. And he's right. Clean out your medicine cabinet each and every new year because you can't believe the stuff that's in there and how fast time goes that now it's expired. So refill that. You need to refill your Secrets. Okay, anyway.
Refill and get a few extra if you can.
Yeah.
Our friends at pharma.com surveyed their caregivers, and we now have a list of 10 family caregiver resolutions for 2024. So caregivers gave us their top resolutions. You want to start from the bottom?
You go.
Okay. Number 10 is I'm going to reach out for help. Maybe you're smiling, maybe you're not. Those are lovely resolutions to think. However, it may be time to ask for help.
Beautiful. Number 9, I will be compassionate with myself. Yes, we talk about this all the time. Cut yourself some slack, okay? Make sure you do it.
I will let go of the past and focus on their care. Oh, my goodness.
Can you speak to that?
Preaching to the choir.
Yeah.
Neither one of my parents need care right now, but I think when that time comes, I'm definitely going to have to let go of some past frustrations.
Number 7, I am going to set boundaries. Again, another one of those we talk about and we will continue to talk about here in 2024, setting those boundaries. That's number 7.
Number 6, professional counseling is not something to be embarrassed about.
Right. That's good. I mean, that is good. Important words. You've heard it before, but keep that in mind.
Number 5. All need therapy.
Yeah, truly. For number 5, I will connect with those that understand. Again, Joyce House, on a mission for that too, that social connection you need.
Number 4, I'm going to educate myself on what comes next for the person I am caring for.
Good. Number 3, my health care matters. Number 3, my health care matters.
Say it one more time.
My health care matters.
Number 2, I'm going to exercise more and eat a healthy diet. I think that's so important versus losing weight.
Yeah, it's true. Number 1, the number 1 top resolution suggestion for caregivers, I deserve to have me time in my schedule.
Absolutely.
We're so glad you're here. Terri Stacy, Candace Hadabaugh. Tina is out today, but in her place is Meredith Howell. And Meredith is the executive development. Nope, am I doing it wrong?
Director of Development.
There we go. Not like I put executive in there. She didn't want that in there. It is the Director of Development with VIPS. And you're also a mom.
I am.
To
Lola, who is 12, and Sebastian, who's 9.
Oh, my goodness. They're growing up fast, aren't they?
Cool name.
Yeah. What's VIPS?
Oh, okay. So VIPS is Visually Impaired Preschool Services, and we are a nonprofit organization that provides early intervention services to infants and toddlers, so ages birth to 3, who are blind or visually impaired, all throughout the state of Indiana. But we also have a location in Lexington and Louisville, Kentucky as well. But
oh my gosh! When she sat down, she said we knew about VIPS, but she also has a background when she was in college, and she did broadcasting.
Mm-hmm.
She did some broadcasting, and to go from there to what you're doing now here in Indiana. She's from Michigan, right?
Mm-hmm, I am.
Then how did that happen?
How did
you go from maybe thinking you might do some television journalism to what you're doing now with VIPS?
Well, I got involved because of my daughter.
There we go.
Yeah,
there's a connection.
My husband and I were living in Costa Rica at the time. We lived there I know it was
What were you doing living in Costa Rica?
Well, so my parents owned a bed and breakfast, and we moved right next door, and we ran a retreat for people, and so we, after being there for a couple of years, we decided that we wanted to start a family, and so we brought Lola into the world, and that was the beginning of...
She's so cool.
Yeah. Oh, me? No.
Yeah,
Lola.
You and Lola. So Lola was diagnosed with...
Okay, so at birth, we were in a Costa Rican hospital, and from the moment she was placed on my chest, I had always, heard about mother and child will make eye contact, and that she'll know she's mine, and I'll know she, all of that bonding would happen right away. And she didn't make any eye contact. It was like she was looking right through me. But I was in a Spanish-speaking hospital. I spoke Spanish, but not to the extent of, is my baby, something wrong with my baby's vision? And so we just continued on and went to a pediatrician appointment, and I started voicing concerns there that perhaps something was wrong with her vision. And they said, oh, no, all babies are born visually impaired. It'll get better over time. And so, and then at about 4 months of age, she started having a rare and catastrophic form of epilepsy. She started having, 40 plus seizures and clusters all throughout the day and night. And so we knew something was going on. And then at 7 months of age, she was diagnosed with something called cortical visual impairment. And that is where the eyes take in the images, but the brain can't interpret them. And so imagine we're in Costa Rica, and we're supposed to, try to figure out what to do next for her, but they had early intervention there. And so we started with early intervention, and it was, a miracle to find the help that we needed there. But long term, we felt like we needed to bring her back to Indianapolis for care at Riley. And so when we moved back here, we got her enrolled with First Steps, with state's early intervention system, and she had physical therapy and occupational therapy and all of these therapies. But when I asked about her vision, there wasn't anyone that could address her vision issues. And so I knew that her vision was impacting every area of her development. And that time was of the essence, because with cortical visual impairment, the brain can actually learn to see. It can improve, the vision can improve through challenging those neural pathways, especially when they're young. And so I just couldn't find anyone that could help us. And then finally, I came across this woman named Annie Hughes, who I had heard retired from the School for the Blind and Visually Impaired. And she came out to our home on a Tuesday and forever changed the trajectory of our lives. And that is why I now, am working for VIPS. It's why I am such the passionate advocate that I am, because I watch my daughter, have this expert come in and teach us how to, how do you bond with your baby if your baby doesn't look at you? How do you get her to crawl across the room if she can't see you? All of these things that, as a sighted parent, as an educated parent, as a person that had access to the internet and the library and all of these, resources, I just didn't know what to do for her. And so Annie came in and she taught us how to teach her, how to set up an environment that her vision that she had could thrive. And she started making developmental goals. She started crawling. She started reaching for things, making eye contact with me, doing things that I didn't know if she would ever do. And so later on, she would be diagnosed with a rare genetic disease. She was one of the first 20 in the world with it. So lucky us.
Wow.
It's called Bosch-Boonstra-Schaaf optic atrophy syndrome. They couldn't just use one of those doctors' names. They'd use all of them. But she, now has, that's what all of those challenges were. She has epilepsy and OCD and autism and several visual impairments on top of the cortical visual impairment. But, you know, in spite of those long lists of diagnoses, at 12, she's doing amazing. You know, she's in an essential skills class in Franklin Township. She's part of like the recycling club. She, you know, has friends at school. She goes to summer camp. She, you know, is mobile. She's talks to me. I didn't know she'd ever say my name, and she now says it 20,000 times a day. You know,
that's great.
Yeah.
I mean, Annie. We have Annie to walk into your life and changed everything, but it was hard to find her.
It was really hard to find her.
Even with all that we have here in central Indiana, all the medical world experts, and it was Annie.
It was Annie. Yeah, Annie. And she's still a great friend and was the director of VIPS and here in Indiana, started it with another mom who you know, couldn't find resources here in Indiana, and it just took the what was offered in Louisville, Kentucky for 30 some years, and took those services and brought them here. And thank goodness they did, because I don't know where my family would be without them.
Yeah. You had to do some work, though.
I did.
You didn't let up. You were looking hard and high and low for somebody.
Yeah.
This is Meredith Howell, and she's filling in for Tina today, but we also wanted to know her story and what she does. And you got to tell me the time. I'm sorry, Candace.
Well, we're going to wrap up this segment here, but before we go, tell us how to get in touch with VIPS so we can go ahead and get that out there.
Sure. So you can go to the website. It's www.vips.org, or you can call toll-free 888-824-2197.
888-824-2197.
Correct.
All right. We'll be right back with more Caregiver Crossing right after the break. You're listening to Caregiver Crossing, a show designed for family caregivers and the people who love them. Caregiver Crossing is brought to you weekly by Joy's House in partnership with Cardon and Associates. We're here every Sunday to bring you support, education, and hopefully a good laugh. Visit caregivercrossingradio.org to connect with us, hear past episodes, learn more about Caregiver Crossing and caregiver support services in the community, and much more. We'll be right back with more Caregiver Crossing right after this.
You know I like to stop.
I know
I like to count my fingers to the music. Hey, everybody. Thanks for coming back here with us on Caregiver Crossing. We're with you for a few more minutes. Terry Stacy, along with Candace Hadabaugh. Tina is out today. Meredith Howell is... Did I just call you by the right name? Yeah. I did. Meredith Howell. Oh boy. Meredith Howell is here, Director of Development with VIPS, and she has a beautiful child, 2 children. One is Lola, and that's really where... Lola is what led you here to VIPS.
Yes.
And we were just talking about this. Does she have any sight at all? What can she see?
Well, they say it's like looking through a kaleidoscope or looking through Swiss cheese. I mean, no one can really give me a direct idea as to what it is. But, you know, unfortunately, she has seizures in the occipital lobe of her brain where the vision takes place. So on top of it, she has like this double whammy that some days her vision is really, you know, good. And other days, if she's had a seizure, she can have some setbacks with it. But, I mean, she could walk in here and, you know, if you had, I don't know, a piece of yellow taffy on the floor, she would be able to see it, you know, as long as the complexity of the carpet isn't too much. But it's pretty miraculous what she can see.
It is amazing.
But she does still use a white cane when we're out in unfamiliar environments and, you know, letting other people know she, you know, looking at her, you wouldn't think she's visually impaired or that she has disabilities. You know, she just gets along so well. But when she's in unfamiliar places, she often will trip or, you know, fall on something and then that's kind of like, oh, okay. Yeah. She's still visually impaired, you know.
She's going to school.
Yeah.
She's doing everything all the other kids are doing.
Yeah.
But does she have bad days where she says, why me?
Oh, Lola doesn't have that full understanding. I don't think she has frustrations, I think, like anyone else, where she says, I can't do it, or, when she's trying to accomplish a task. But I don't think that she has that self-awareness of, that she is completely, that there are any differences between her and her peers.
She's 12. Does she think about what she wants to be?
I don't think so. She's globally delayed, so cognitively, I don't think she fully understands what that would be. But I know there are places like Bosma Enterprises for the blind, and
there are so much there are opportunities now, probably more than ever. And when she becomes an adult, maybe even more opportunities for her that allows young people to dream.
Absolutely. Yeah. We have big dreams for her. So she can't live with me forever. She's got to go out and get a job and live perhaps in a group home or, whatever that might look like for her.
Absolutely.
But, my husband and I need to just be married again.
So Meredith, tell us about VIPS. I'm glad you were able to connect with them. Tell us about their services.
Yeah, so VIPS is an amazing organization. We have teachers of blind and low vision and early interventionists and that have this vision-specific training. They go into the homes or they provide virtual visits to these children that have vision loss that's impacting their learning or development. So they're not children that a set of glasses is going to, suddenly help. They have perhaps other challenges. About 85% of the kids we serve have additional disabilities, so in addition to their visual impairment. But we provide a whole array of services, not only in the home, but we have our parent empowerment program. We have an annual retreat, parent retreat. We have a wonderful family resource center that we built off of East Washington and Southeastern near downtown Indy. If you ever want to come off site and tour, it's amazing. Yeah. It's got a sensory garden and a sensory room, lending library with braille writers and light boxes and adaptive technology and just anything that, a place where families can go and just let their guard down and know that, we understand what it's like for them going through having a child who's visually impaired, and we're there to support them. So VIPS is definitely more than just the services that we're providing in the home or virtually. I mean, we really try to wrap our arms around these families and let them know that, life will go on and that we'll help walk alongside them every step of the way.
So when is a good time for families to get connected with you?
As soon as there's a suspicion of a visual impairment. I would get, a lot of times mom will go to a pediatrician and say, I have this suspicion, and the pediatrician says it's nothing. And, but if there's suspicion of any type of, not making eye contact or not visually tracking or no visual reflex, things like that, then I would immediately, contact an eye care professional or contact visually impaired preschool services, because we definitely, the earlier we can start our services, the better. When children age out at 3, they go into the local preschool or school for the blind and visually impaired. And, during that transition, we really try to help them through that and let them know that once they're a VIPS family, they're always a VIPS family.
I love that.
And you knew it. Can't get rid of me.
And the thing is, you trust yourself because you knew it immediately from the first moment that you put that child on your chest. You knew.
Yeah. I kind of look back at that, and it just following that instinct from the very beginning. That's, my greatest piece of advice to parents is to follow that instinct, be the advocate. If you're not the advocate for your child, then who will be, And so I think that that's a critical piece of advice I could give, is to, it doesn't matter if you make the whole room mad. You continue to speak up for your kid.
Yeah. VIPS.org. VIPS, VIPS.org, and do that right away if you have any suspicion at all.
The phone number again, Meredith, is 888-824-2197, right?
That is correct.
All right. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having
terrific.
Me. Thank you.
Come back.
I would love to, especially when Gary is here.
Yeah. The Bachelor.
Yeah,
the
Golden
Bachelor.
All right, as we wrap up the show for the week, we want to remind everyone to nominate that deserving caregiver in your life. You can send nominations to Tina joyshouse.org. Also a reminder that Joy's House will be hosting 2 vaccine clinics in September on the 18th and the 19th. Give me a call at 317-254-0828 and I can give you more details on that. Let's see. Next week, join us. We will be hosting Mike LeMaic, I think I'm saying that right, from Global Fund. He'll be joining us to talk about wills and trusts and all of those things that are important for estate planning. All right. As we close, we want to thank Cardon and Associates, with 20 communities owned, operated, and managed in the Midwest, and more than 40 years of senior living experience. Cardon and Associates provides residents with the best senior living options and personalized service. All right, until next week, take good care of each other.